The following program is brought to you by Pizza Productions.
Up here and lit a match and burnt me, you guys might actually laugh.
But
Super Kick Party!
Well, hello, and welcome to another edition of the Totally Unnecessary Wrestling Podcast. This is your host, Cody James, as always, with...
I'm Kevin Porter. What's up, Cody James? How are you doing this week?
What is up, brother?
What is up, brother? We're talking about kids in matches. What is going on? Kids having wrestling matches. Now, that's something I would pay for.
Actually, someone got in huge trouble over that. There's a bunch of... Sean Waltman is not a fan.
Sean Waltman is not a fan of kids wrestling? You're telling me this?
There's some
Xbox
there's
1,
some
2, 3
girl
kid?
who's like 9
Come
years
on,
old, and her
man.
parents are allowing her to take
I heard about
bumps
that.
and
And she
stuff,
took that.
and-
No, it was that super fan for Bailey. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
I hear that she does shows and stuff.
Shit, dude. Yeah.
And-
fucking, that's some balls those parents are taking, fucking signing off on that. They're like, yo, let's collect the $40. You know, how much is this little girl getting paid, man?
I don't know, but Sean Waltman is not a fan.
Oh, Sean Waltman, I agree with you, man. I'm not a fan of kids wrestling either, dude. I was just joking. I was trying to break the ice here on the episode of the Totally Unnecessary Wrestling Podcast. Cody, we're here to talk about the week that was professional wrestling. It's rock and roll,
I think
man.
the problem that he has with it is that, you know, a kid could... Their brain's not fully developed yet, and...
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I think the
And people are bringing up
evidence
past...
is out there.
past
Concussions
guys.
do bad things to you, man.
Yeah, people are talking about how in the 60s and 70s that people, you know, like...
Just get back in there, man. Just get back into the fucking huddle, Tammy.
Well, no, some of them had gotten started when they were like 15 and 16.
He's having a seizure.
And it's like, well, okay, but we're no longer in the 60s and 70s, and besides that, we know a lot more about concussions and the long-term
Yeah.
effects of multiple concussions. And we also know that a child's brain is not fully formed
Yeah.
at that age.
Yeah.
So
Dude, we're concussion experts, bro.
I'm not, but I mean, I don't think it's an entirely smart thing to do at such a young age. So.
I say this all, tongue-in-cheek. So I know people are going to cite us in a court case. They're going to be like, I listened to the Totally Unnecessary Wrestling Podcast. That Cody guy, he totally schooled me on some concussion protocol, man. I was like, bro.
Well, maybe they need to stop smoking so much weed.
I think that goes a little bit deeper than smoking a little bit of cannabis there, my friend. Well,
Okay,
yeah.
moving on. Let's talk about
Moving
some
on,
SmackDown.
we are on the week of professional wrestling, which we saw.
We normally go from the top to bottom, and I'm sorry to cut you off here, but let's talk about Samoa Joe and AJ Styles.
Could you let me
Right?
introduce it, WWE Smackdown results.
We already introduced.
Winners, grades, reactions, and highlights from September 4th, Cody. Come on, man. Can't cut me off mid-promo, brother.
Sorry, brother.
We can start with AJ and Samoa Joe. We're more than... We can definitely talk there. Definitely one of the best segments of the night there.
It's always the best segment of the night. I mean, Joe has been sneak attacking and talking some crap, and I think AJ finally gave him his due this week. I
definitely agree with you, man. I think showing the physicality, continuing the physicality between Samoa Joe and AJ Styles is just proving that this is definitely a step up for AJ Styles compared to his last couple, feuds that he's been having within this last year. I mean, the Shinsuke Nakamura feud, as crazy as I would have told you in 2017, dude, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura not going to be that good on the WWE main roster. But here we are, 2018, September, going into Hell in a Cell. We're going to see Samoa Joe fight AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, and quite possibly Samoa Joe may take it at this pay-per-view. Tickle me pink, Cody. Tickle me pink.
But I think it's taken AJ to a new level. I think Samoa Joe is upping his game.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
I love how he's kind of pulling a Jack Torrance with the whole Wendy thing.
Ooh, yeah, dude. The stuff, like, you immediately want to scream Claire Lynch. This is citing back to a really bad angle in TNA back like in 2012 or some shit. And here we are with Wendy Styles, and yeah, dude, like it's proven to be a winner, man. Definitely a winner.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Well, our boys over at Bleacher
she
Report
will
gave it
have
an
to
A,
make-
bro.
They gave it an A.
They gave it a fucking A.
It's about time they give the right grade to something.
Bleacher Report. You were on the burning block there, but you recovered. You recovered.
Yeah, so let's start with the first segment.
Oh, dude, yeah. You want to start from top to bottom, bro, excluding the AJ Styles fucking Samoa
Yeah,
Joe
because we had to
spot.
jump to that.
Yeah,
and
because it
get
was
right
so
to the-
good.
Get right to the greatness.
Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella kick off SmackDown, Cody. Your immediate thoughts?
I am not looking forward to more mixed match challenge.
Dude, didn't you hear the big news? They just announced it.
I am not looking
the
forward to
mixed
more
match
mixed match
challenge is
challenge.
coming back, Cody.
I am not looking forward to more mixed match challenge.
Solid C grade from the Bleacher Report here. We saw Cien Almas and Zelina Vega interrupt the proceedings of Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan. Again, we're going back to this mixed match challenge stuff here, and you got the biggest main event, in terms of the mixed match challenge being Brie Bella and fucking Daniel Bryan versus the Miz and Maurice. It's set up throughout the whole night. We saw Miz.
What is up with this?
These backstage vignettes throughout the evening.
Where they were there, but they weren't, and then they came back. And
I mean,
where
if you're
are
into
they?
soap operas, which I
guess you
clearly am, because I watch wrestling every week.
It's just a male soap opera, bro.
It's just a mere soap opera, Timmy. Shit, no, I don't know. I mean, sometimes that stuff's fun. I mean, not jumping too far ahead, but we saw what they predominantly featured on Raw with the Shield going all 1998 Stone Cold Steve Austin and getting arrested and then breaking out and they appeared in front of a judge within an hour. That doesn't ever happen.
On Monday when
On
it was,
a Monday, Labor Day, bro.
Yeah.
Labor Day edition of Monday Night Raw. We had to just suspend disbelief there for those 3
I had to
hours.
spend so much disbelief. I had a hernia.
A fucking hernia. So ultimately, this led to a match: Daniel Bryan versus Andrade Cien Almas. Solid fucking match here, dude. Bryan defeats Almas, getting the win, thus progressing, momentum going into Hell in a Cell.
But is the reason they're having this Zelina Vega or whatever her name is and Andrade Cien Almas thing to keep from booking The Miz and Daniel Bryan in matches, or
I think that plays into it. I mean, if you got a foil, it's just like them
sort of
facing
like a distraction?
A distraction, sure. Why not? I mean, and plus it just, it allows Daniel Bryan to get his aggression out, and maybe just keep his mind focused that much more so he's not like, subdued like he was and caught off guard at SummerSlam with the brass knucks, dude. I
Like
mean,
with his emotions and stuff?
loses emotions and shit, so he's able to keep focused. It's like masturbating. You gotta masturbate before you jump up to the big leagues and start hanging out with all the ladies and stuff,
With the
because
big
you
titty bras.
don't need to be prematuring anywhere around there, bro. So you gotta watch yourself.
All right,
That's what
next.
Daniel Bryan's doing by defeating
What'd they
Cien
grade
Almas.
this? A C?
I gave it a B minus.
A B minus.
A B minus, bro.
All right, what's next?
Naomi versus Peyton Royce.
Oh my god, I just finally realized how shrill their voice, Peyton and Billy's voices were. It's awful.
You know how over they're gonna be when they roll into Australia, because they're from Australia, right? Or they're like New Zealand, or where the fuck are they from?
Isn't it the same thing? I don't know.
I know, it's like all our listeners down in Australia are like, hey mate, fuck yeah, when it's not all the same.
Oh well.
Check me out, Foster's. Son of a
They
bitch.
actually don't drink Foster's there, from what I understand.
Stereotypes, bro. Just like we don't drink Budweiser here in America. I understand these things.
We do too.
I don't.
Well, you don't.
I
A lot
never
of people-
did when I
A lot
drank.
of people do, apparently. Otherwise, they wouldn't stay in business.
I'm sure people drink down under drink Foster's. Like, nah, mate, we drink Budweiser. Oh man, Naomi defeated Royce in a solid C+ effort, Cody. So, Asuka returns. I guess that's the big news coming out of this spot.
From what? Taking a week off in Japan or something?
I think she's been off TV for like a good minute though, hasn't it? I mean, it's been like at least a month.
Maybe.
When was the last time you saw Asuka in the ring? Never.
Apparently, that's how how forgettable it was.
Well, either I assume we're going to see variations of these pairings going into either Hell in a Cell or the Women's Evolution pay-per-view. I don't see how they can continue a tag team feud going because Evolution pay-per-view is the end of October. Yeah. So you're telling me we got a whole month and a half of Naomi and Asuka versus Peyton Royce, and
not a fan.
Not a fan. Remember a couple months ago when they debuted, man. I think we had positive things to say. Now it's turned pretty.
Then my
quick.
ears opened up and I was like, "Wow, they are shrill."
Go back to Zealand, jeez.
And I thought Vicky Guerrero was bad.
So we saw the Usos versus Rusev and Aiden English versus Sanity in a triple threat tag team. Number one contender determination match here. Ultimately, Rusev defeats the Usos and Sanity.
Try to say that match.
I think again. that's a one-timer right there, bro. I can only get through that one time.
No, I need to know what all the stipulations were in that match. What was it?
The Usos versus Rusev and Aiden English versus Sanity in a triple threat number one contender tournament determination match. It's a match to advance to another match in order to determine the number one contender for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which I swear to God, they've been doing this since fucking WrestleMania. I feel like we're on repeat at this point. Given all the talent in the ring, I'm not complaining, but the lack of creativity in terms of the creative is very left to.
Well, why do you think they went from
something of wanting?
Why do you think they went from 35 soap operas to 3?
Every story's the same.
And then WWE was like, this looks like a job opportunity for these people. Let's hire them. And you can see the results on TV. They're not good.
Yeah, not good, Cody. Just not good. So we saw in the main event of the evening, which I thought was actually a pretty fun little interaction between The Miz and R-Truth. Your boy, R-Truth.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You seen R-Truth get in the ring versus The Miz in the main event of a 2018 edition of SmackDown, man. There you go. You called it again. You're like, push R-Truth. Vince is fucking listening to us, dude. Vince is fucking listening. You called it, dude.
I wasn't even trying to call that one.
You're just like, I'm just throwing this out there just to fuck with them. Ultimately, we saw Truth defeat The Miz.
I mean, it is just SmackDown, but it's still the main event.
Still the main event, bro.
With The Miz.
Exactly. He got the pin. So with the help of Daniel Bryan, obviously, with the distraction. All in all, I mean, not very an eventful SmackDown. I mean, it wasn't the best episode, but I mean, we saw solid development of Samoa Joe and AJ Styles, plus the Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton videos that they featured as the vignettes for that featured Hell in a Cell match, which I'm looking forward to.
I kind of think it came across as this might be his
swan song.
Yeah, Swanton Bomb song.
His Swanton Bomb song. Make that into some soup, man. You can sell that shit, make some money. Some dumplings, motherfucker. I'm looking forward to that match, dude. I've been enjoying the feud.
Yep.
So
I do think that the main reason for the Miz and the R-Truth match was basically to set up for the mixed match challenge in a week and a half or whenever the heck it is. 18th, I think, is when it's starting. Yeah,
it's starting in 2 weeks. Yeah, and R-Truth's gonna be he's getting a little push with Carmella. And we saw Carmella turn face on this. I mean, she came out at some point. It was like
that was kind of.
Yeah. Well, we also did see.
They didn't make a big to do about it. It was just kind of like.
And we also saw the side by side promo for Becky Lynch and Charlotte.
Oh, that was great! I loved how she started out like this, just looking up like, "Sup."
Fuck you, fucking.
Sup, Charlotte.
Who did the backsstage interview? Is that Mike Rome or is it Tom Phillips?
Who cares? No one was paying attention. Who did?
I don't even care. Like Kevin Porter, you're asking me about announcers. Announce who? Announce yourself to the unemployment line. You suck.
Other than JoJo, Lillian Garcia, and Howard Finkel, I don't really care about the rest.
Mean Gene Okerlund, brother.
But he wasn't announced. Wait, was he?
Who's a backstage promo guy?
No. I mean, like,
he never did commentary.
I think he did do an announcing at some. The guy who says, And new
Oh, the
World
ring
Wrestling
announcer?
Federation heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
I think he did do one of those.
I'm sure he's done it at some point, dude. I'm sure he's expanded his
I
role.
believe he did it in AWA maybe, and I could have swore he did.
Oh, it could have
one
been
of the
AWA,
pay-per-views.
yeah, for
I could
sure.
have swore he did one of the pay-per-views, like maybe WrestleMania, the first one.
I don't fucking
When they had
remember.
that-
I don't think it was the first one.
When they
I
had
think
that cool
They
mic.
had Finkel, dude. Finkel was the man, dude. I mean,
Yeah?
that was Madison Square Garden, dude. He owned that fucking building for WWE, dude. Howard Finkel was like the man.
Oh, you're right. He was. It was Howard Finkel, and that was cool how they had that huge mic suspended from the ceiling, and it would just drop down. You just grab it and you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is set for one fall.
Why do they even say that anymore?
One fall? They say it on the indie scene.
I
And
mean,
then
in
everybody
WCW
on the fucking in the crowd's just like, one fall.
Yeah.
One fucking fall.
They tried doing that in WWE, but I mean, it lasted for a while and then it kind of died.
Well,
down.
they purposely like try to get around it.
Maybe they just muted or something.
Nah, WWE, they fucking hate their fans, dude.
But I don't get why they say one fall because I mean, almost all of their
One
matches
pinfall,
are.
bro.
Well, almost all of their matches are.
I know, right? It's like, this is common sense, guys. Come on.
Whereas it made sense in like WCW where they would have more like the TV title match, or they would have more best 2 out of 3 matches.
I always liked
and
hearing
stuff.
that, dude. With a 15-minute TV time limit. You know, like WCW back in the day, like those Saturday nights, man. I loved watching that shit, dude.
Which wasn't even Saturday night because here it was in like 3:05. Didn't they start at a weird time?
Yeah, well, we got that West Coast feed, so we got the 3:05 start time, and they got the it's 6:05 was the start time.
But yeah, I just found it weird how everything didn't start on the hour. It was like 5 minutes later or something.
Yeah, you gotta brand yourself, bro. That's what Ted Turner was ultimately doing. He's like, no, bro, nah. We start at 6:05.
I think the thing was that he wanted it like you're watching your show and it was 5 minutes after. You're more likely, I guess, from their perspective, the way they saw it, was you're more likely to stick to TNT or TBS because you already missed the first 5 minutes. So
Oh,
why
dude,
change
that's
channel?
that's actually a really good point. I gotta give it to you on that one. That one's a really good point,
I always
man.
remember seeing the end of Captain Planet. he's a
Fuck you,
hero.
Captain Planet.
I hated Captain Planet, to be honest.
I was. It was fucking. It was all right, I guess. I don't
Let's
know.
be honest.
If it was
just
on, I'd
was a
watch
way-
it.
It was a way to brainwash kids into being, don't pollute. Whereas I was more likely.
It's like, no, kids, dump oil into the sewer. It's okay.
And you look at it now, 20 years later, you see all these people who are like being environmentalists, but they don't really care about the environment for everything. They just care about themselves in terms of like.
Better watch out, Cody. You're gonna alienate some of our listeners out there. They'll be like, I love the environment.
Hey, I didn't call them environazis yet, so.
Ooh, well, moving on. No. Well, that was fucking SmackDown this week, dude. So we move on
Can we
to the
skip
3 hour.
Can we skip the whole?
Can we skip Monday Night Raw?
No, can we skip the whole Shield thing since we already talked about it? I mean, I guess Team, whatever the fuck they want to be called, Team Monster.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it off the
British
top of my
dude.
head, dude, but I already forgot the fucking their heel trio name. It's like something jungle, right? Like what? Like, I don't know. Welcome to the jungle. I don't know. Like Kings of the Jungle. I don't fucking remember, dude.
Monsters of the Jungle. I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we kicked off Monday Night Raw with the locker room. Must empty to stop the Shield fighting Strowman's pack. Straight from the headlines, guys. Gonna rip that one off the headlines.
Why are they still belaboring the idea that no one could get into the Hell in a Cell when every time they get in or out of the Hell in a Cell, and it's like no one believes that anymore.
Well, it's like kind of like also kind of like.
Why even work the angle?
Well, it's like kind of going back to what you said about like the three. They have like those 3 main storylines, right, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's like they just repeat everything. It's like, oh, you're gonna get fired. Like, look what happened with the Miz. You don't get out there, you're gonna get fired. Oh no, like we haven't seen that 1,000 fucking times. And like here, oh, the Hell in a Cell, it's reinforced this time. Fuck you, fucking Michael Cole. You're a fucking liar. Like,
It still breaks.
It's still
man, they must have really been going at it. They still broke it even though it was reinforced.
Oh, the Big Show weighs 700 pounds, Jim. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I got a solid A- effort. I mean, it seems like I always enjoy these like segments where there's like chaos and stuff. So I mean, I did somewhat enjoy the. I know I'm showing my colors here, but I'm a little partial to the Shield. You know, I've been adamant about it here the last couple weeks. You know,
I was kind of enjoying.
I'm okay
it
with the Shield
I was
reunion,
kind of
bro.
enjoying it up till the point where they got arrested, and then they pulled this whole thing at the end where
Yeah, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, 1998, bro.
it was too worked, and it was like.
Yeah, I mean, for our 32-year-old, or I don't know how old you are. You're like what, 23? You're like, I'm fucking 30, motherfucker.
31.
31. Okay, I knew you were in the middle somewhere. To us, it's
old hat.
It's old. I mean, we saw this 20 years ago when we were kids, but I think of the kids that are watching it now and, seeing the Dean Ambroses and the Roman Reigns, and they're going to grow up and be like, hey, bro, those were our Bret Harts and Shawn Michaels. Seth Rollins was our Shawn Michaels and shit.
But the problem I have
I kind of like, at least from that perspective, I'm like, that's cool,
But the problem I have, again, is that Seth Rollins is great and Dean is great.
But Roman, they're just like
And
band-aiding
Roman
him
is
with
like
the
the
Shield.
turd in the punch bowl, and it's like, how many of these Shield
Yeah.
pops can you get this guy to try and get him
It's just
over?
like, why do they have to fight him being a bad guy? Like, why do they put so much effort in not just giving what the fans fucking want?
I think
Like, they fight us on every single fucking level. They're like, oh, no, we know best, bro. We know best. Like, okay, no, not like we pay your fucking salary, And I'm not saying
I don't think
I pay their mortgage or anything, but you know what I mean, though? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
We each
your
pay a
fans
little bit
dictate
towards
how
them.
you do business. And if your business is being dictated, oh, we like this, give us this. No, you can't have that.
Which
you
the
can't
Ultimate
have
Warrior
that,
basically said in his last little promo before he died. And
Who said that?
the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, the fucking Ultimate Warrior. Okay.
In his last promo before he died, he stated that it was basically the fans that determine who's getting,
Well, think about when he said that. That was right after Daniel Bryan had won the world title at WrestleMania 30.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the night after. He died the next day.
That it was no. Oh wait, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was right after the Hall of Fame, dude. So like, I don't know, man. That's some eerie shit right there.
Because it was almost like he
like,
knew or something.
Yeah, like I don't know, man.
But if you rewatch
but he's
it and
right.
stuff-
I mean, he's
if you
right, dude.
rewatch
That's
it
the way
and
it
stuff-
should fucking be. And ultimately, with Daniel Bryan, like they had to change their storyline just based off the reception that they got.
The fans were
Yeah,
super pissed, and
but it's just.
it kind of pissed off Batista because he felt like it was his.
Well, Batista says it straight from the beginning. He's like, don't bring me back as a baby face. Bring me back as... He wanted to come back as a bad guy. Because you remember when he left back in 2010, he left as a heel after that John Cena feud. And so he wanted to come back as a bad guy.
I get the idea that when they come back, whatever, who cares what they were before, the first pop is going to be a face pop.
I love Batista, dude. Batista is definitely one of my favorite of all time, dude.
But they tried
just
bringing
put
him
that
back.
out there, dude.
They
I
tried
love
bringing him
Batista.
back as like a face, and we're gonna push this guy, and kind of almost we don't care what the fans want. And
I enjoyed that, dude. When they came out of that, when they did eventually, get Evolution back together, and they had that run with the Shield right before Seth turned on Roman and Dean, dude, that was awesome, dude. Those matches, those two pay-per-view matches they had, like I enjoyed the shit out of that, dude. Evolution versus the Shield was so fun.
I don't think I was watching the pay-per-views at the time.
I watched,
so.
dude. I was watching that shit, dude. I watched, like as soon as that network rolled out, dude, I was like,
But I mean,
boom.
I mean, from the first promo, he should have made it real clear that look, I'm not a face. And I think.
Yeah, but that's WWE for you, like WWE knows fucking best. Oh no, Batista, you don't know your own fucking character. You're a babyface, bro. You're a babyface.
Well, apparently Nash and Shawn had trouble getting Sid Vicious back, or Sid Justice, or Psycho
Sid tried to murder Arn Anderson. I mean, I can understand why they wouldn't want to hire him back.
Well, actually, the problem that they had was bringing him back was the fact that Vince wanted to give him the big yellow boots that Hulk Hogan was leaving behind, metaphorically. And he was like, I don't know, Vince. I kind of see myself as more of a big bad heel. And so he had trouble getting him back. What?
Who are you talking about? Sid Vicious or fucking
Nash
Diesel?
and Shawn had to convince Vince to bring Sid back, and ever since he had told Vince, Sid had told Vince that, look, I kind of see myself as being more of a big bad heel.
Yeah. And Vince wanted to push him as a face?
I believe so. He wanted, according to Nash, he wanted to put him in kind of the Hulk Hogan role.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know, Vince. Can I see myself as more a big bad heel? And the thing was when they brought him back in '95.
You don't know what you're talking about.
When they brought him back in like '95 or so, guess what? He was a heel when he got over.
Yeah.
Hella.
Yeah.
He'd do his heel stuff, and he'd come out and he'd be fist bumping people in the front row and stuff.
He was the heel. He was such a heel that he got over as a face eventually, dude. Dude, I love Psycho Sid, dude. Sid was fucking
maybe
awesome.
He might have been the first anti-hero.
Sid, no, I mean, it
at
was right
least before Stone Cold.
Yeah, I mean, it was right. Yeah, dude. I mean, like, he definitely.
I think he gets a little bit underrated.
I think so. I think Sid just as a character is fun, dude. Like, his character was always fun, dude. Like, I liked him as Sid Justice. Like, when he came in and did the shit with Hulk Hogan, like, even though, when we look back, it was like it should have been Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan, but we got Sid Justice versus fucking Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania.
That was awesome.
It was still fun.
And then Papa Shango comes out and he missed his cue.
And fucking Ultimate Warrior comes at the end.
Papa Shango missed his cue.
That was like, I remember as a kid, dude, that was like one of my favorite WrestleManias. My two favorite WrestleManias were WrestleMania 8 and WrestleMania 9. I love the shit out of WrestleMania.
Even though people look back on 9, the one that was
people shit all over 9,
and Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
Like, ew, that
was the first wrestling event I ever saw, though. Like, I saw that on pay-per-view, and I was just so enthralled with, like, the outdoor venue and shit. And it was like, this is cool, man.
I think that was one of the first ones that I saw, like, around
Bret Hart.
Like, around the time that it aired. Whereas the other ones I had gotten, the Coliseum home videos.
Yeah, the Coliseum home videos.
And so I was able to watch this like around a week or so after it had aired, and I was like, this is awesome and stuff. And I had even back then I had started to know some of the background and the behind the scenes sort of stuff. And
were you watching like the weekly TV though, like leading up to them?
If I'd remember, I think a lot of it was aired on Saturday, if memory serves.
Right,
so,
I think it was a Saturday,
and it was in the morning, so I'd
kind
of be
Fox,
like,
I remember.
I don't think it was on Fox. I thought it was on US, but
well, I mean, they aired it on USA and Fox. They had broadcast TV though. Like,
cool.
Superstars was on like Fox, like up until a certain point.
But yeah, back then I was kind of like, okay, what do I watch? Because I had Saturday morning cartoons to watch, and I had wrestling to watch, and so sometimes I'd kind of like
go back and forth.
Yeah, or I wouldn't go back and forth. I'd be like, okay, this week I'm watching this, or this week I'm definitely watching this, or something. And for instance, I remember the whole Papa Shango thing where the Ultimate Warrior gets.
Yeah, dude, like classic.
I mean, it's classic, even though people look back on it now and go, that was awful. And
So
I mean, it kind of was awful, but sometimes you need.
But as a kid, though, you just romanticize it in your head, dude. You're just like,
oh my god, this is awesome,
dude. Like as a kid, dude, seeing those sets from as a kid, dude, it's just like it throws me back to another time.
Like that's one of the only things that I remember about the Ultimate Warrior that I'd actually watched at the time, like, instead of watching back. And like I was a huge fan. I had like a kite.
The Ultimate Warrior kite.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Barely got a chance to fly it,
things
but
are serious when you're flying the Ultimate Warrior. Like you're at the schoolyard. Like, hey guys, check it out, fly my stripes, And
I had the Hulk, and I had the Ultimate Warrior wrestling buddies, little stuffed things, and I would wrestle those and like have matches and stuff.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, man. I used to, I was a big collector of like action figures, lots of action figures, dude. Like I played with those. Like I'll still get down like with my kids and stuff, dude. Like we have a collection, dude, that I assembled for them.
Nice. You have the ring?
Yeah, I got the ring. We got the ring, and we have
so
this
you
like.
Can even go...
Yeah, and then we got this really cool like Batman cave thing that we use for the entrance.
Do you have the old ones where you could like make you can make Jimmy Snuka? You pull the little ledge on his back, and you make him jump.
So check this. I don't know how well versed you are in current wrestling action figurism.
Not any.
But okay, so they're doing a re-release of all those old Hasbro action figures like that, but they're with modern wrestlers.
What?
So they've released like they sold so well at Walmart because they released it as a Walmart exclusive, and so you had like Kevin Owens, the Ultimate Warrior. You can get the Undertaker, John Cena, and like Brock Lesnar, and those sold so well that now they're releasing them like the whole roster.
Nice. I think I had the old one.
So and they're selling the ring though, like you're talking about. I don't have that ring, dude, but I know they're selling a copy of that ring now. So it's really, really fucking cool, dude. That
I'm marking out over some.
I'm marking out right now, dude. Like I'm seriously feeling the action of figures in figures of action. I don't know, man. I'm so excited.
But
It's
yeah,
like
I remember.
You gotta power talk
like
the noise, Cody. You gotta power talk the noise.
Like you'd have the Ultimate Warrior one where you could pull his arms up like this,
Yeah.
and then you roll a press slam people and stuff.
The commercials for that shit, like, dude, oh my gosh. I remember I had the Bret Hart one.
I remember a friend of mine
Okay.
complaining about that, and he was like, he doesn't have anything to really hold on to him. They just sort of slip and fly around, and I'm like, have you
gotta
ever watched the
balance.
Ultimate Warrior match? He
Oh,
doesn't give a shit.
you're like 8 years old. It's like, Dad, Ultimate Warrior, bro.
Have you ever seen an Ultimate Warrior match? He just throws him around. He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Sometimes he would just move out of the way and drop, and they'd fall flat on their face on the ring mat. And other
fucking
times you
right.
just throw them, and he didn't give a shit. So I mean, the Ultimate Warrior figure was pretty true to life.
Yeah, right. And you could like fucking like Hulk Hogan's. But I remember we had the Hulk Hogan one. I had
Hulk Hogan one, but it was all beat up because I got it used at a Value Village.
Yeah. I see my wrestling wrestling toys that I was predominantly purchasing back then was like the Jack specific ones.
I had
Those
a lot
ones
of those.
fucking broke so easily,
Yeah.
dude. All fucking.
You ever have the ones they crunched or whatever?
Yeah, I did have. I'm pretty sure I did have one of those at some point.
I had a series like they sold like 4 or 5 at a time, and they had the current. Well, I don't even know if they were current at the time when I had bought them, but they were the current champs when they had released them.
Okay.
So you had one of them with the world title, one of them with the
So
European, and
I've got all the title
titles and
belts,
stuff.
dude. Yeah,
and
I had all. Yeah.
So that was awesome. I was like, I gotta get this, and
Hell yeah.
I believe I had to convince my mom to get it, but I was like, come on, I need them because then I have like all these wrestlers, and then if I get this, I can now have matches with them, and they can trade the titles and stuff. And
I don't even have to watch wrestling anymore, Mom. I don't even have to watch it.
I still watched it because that was the time when it was actually cool. But
I know.
But
No,
the
dude.
problem with the Jax ones,
Yeah.
a lot of their faces didn't look like
Yeah,
them at all.
the design wasn't
you
that
find that
fucking
true
great.
as well?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Like if you look back, cause like if you go back on like Amazon and like cause like sometimes I'll get like retrospective and just go back and like check that shit out and see how much that shit is now. But you look at the Jack specific dolls and it's like it's not even worth paying money for, dude. They really do.
Isn't Mattel or something?
Mattel does it
People
now,
who make
dude.
Barbies,
Yeah,
don't they make them now?
yeah. Mattel is like that's
they
like
look
top
like
of the
them
line.
pretty well.
No, they do a really good job. The stuff they've been
And
releasing
then
in the last
they put those special ones in like those cool boxes and everything.
last like 13, 14 years, dude. They've been doing like all the like they'll do like the flashback wrestlers. So you get to buy them. Like I went to Walmart like a couple weeks ago and they had one like of Razor Ramon in like the Chico fucking his when they did the virginities, the videos and shit. When the vignettes of him back in like when he was trying to be like fucking Scarface and shit.
Ayo, Chico.
Yeah. So you could buy him. You can buy Razor Ramon in that fucking outfit as a fucking action figure, dude.
The funny thing was that outfit wasn't that dissimilar from his Diamond Stud, whatever the fuck he was called at the time.
Which is funny because years later, WWF fucking sued WCW and they're like, yeah, you basically just ripped us off, so shut the fuck, whatever, WWF. So I guess are we gonna
Vegas
get back?
Isn't that different either?
No,
but
no.
Yeah, let's get back to Raw, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get back to the segment of the week for you, bro. The Bella Twins versus the Riot Squad.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was so horned up over that one.
You're just like I texted you and I was like, Cody, this is your favorite wrestler.
Oh, and we got Renee back on commentary.
Oh yeah, we had Renee back,
which was just my favorite.
I know when I heard her voice, I was like, oh, is that Renee? Oh, okay. Your husband's getting arrested. Okay, cool, man. You married a guy that likes to get arrested. You married the bad boy, Renee. What? I don't know. But yeah, it was all right.
Her reactions are just so canned and like, oh my god.
I think she's better than Coach. I mean, I'll still stand by that.
I
I'd rather.
I didn't expect it. It's like it's so fake. Like even a crisis actor would do better.
A crisis actor would do better than that.
Yeah.
Jeez, Cody, you better watch it, bro. We're gonna go down like Alex Jones. They're gonna be like, "You talking crisis actors now?"
I hope not.
No, I don't know. Anyway, fuck it. The Bellas return. They get the win over the Riot Squad. It was a pretty shitty match. It was really bad.
It was garbage.
Yeah. It still managed to get a C- from the
I don't-
Bleacher Report.
We're gonna get to more of this later, but I don't want them back. I don't want Shawn and Undertaker back. I don't want Triple H back. It's like we got enough young guys or guys that are current.
Yeah, well, I want to see the new generation. I want to see this generation.
Like, the old generation needs to pack up their fucking gear bags and go the fuck home with your Bengay and your fucking. I need
Fanny
ice
packs.
I need to lay in a bunch of ice packs because I'm all sore all over.
I have inflation in my arms.
Like, go the fuck home. No one wants to see you.
We saw a new tag team this week, Cody. We saw Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the Ascension.
I mean, is this tag team going anywhere?
We'll see. I mean,
Let's hope that
Chad Gable
let's
is
hope-
talented. Bobby Roode is talented. So let's hope they can make the best of it.
Let's hope a year from the day
Okay.
that this actually goes
September
somewhere.
4th, 2019.
Let's hope that it actually goes somewhere.
Well, it's September 5th, but this gets released on the 7th. Oh, shit. Go kayfabe, Kevin. Kayfabe, Kevin Porter.
You broke it. Way to
Broke
go.
fucking kayfabe,
We
motherfucker.
need to have like a
Shit.
little.
I mean, it's Friday.
A little clown thing where it goes. But anyways, it was Bobby Roode and who else?
Chad Gable, dude.
Chad Gable.
They defeated the Ascension.
Let's hope that they're they're gonna put or two more with them, and they have like the new Four Horsemen or something.
Chad Gable is a solid wrestler.
Build a
Bobby
stable
Roode's
or
a solid
something.
wrestler. I mean, if you made him serious,
But the problem is that a
They're
lot
not
of
gonna
times
do
their
that.
stables that they put together are like mid card as hell, and they don't go anywhere.
Very mid card as hell.
And it's like, well, the original Four Horsemen were
Badasses.
they were
that
all
won
like the
matches
top of,
week in,
they
week
were all
out.
the top of the heap, and it's like, but we already have our top of the heap, guys. We already have.
What do you mean you don't like Braun Strowman and Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre? What are you talking
the
about?
Shield.
What are you talking about, Cody?
But it's like it's like, okay, well, that's good for this month or next 2 or 3 months, but eventually they're gonna need another stable to throw in there to mix shit around and do something with it, right?
Sorry, Cody. I couldn't agree with you more, man. I think you're on ball on that one, bro. You're on ball.
I'm not really a fan of Chad Gable, but I mean, come on,
Chad fucking Gable
he could maybe maybe be like
and will be a future WWE champion. I'm calling it right now. Let's
Maybe
hope not
IC
Universal.
belt,
Let's trade him back to SmackDown so we can win the real title. Nobody wants that Heinz ketchup rip-off looking piece of shit, okay? No one
why
wants
don't they
that.
bring back the big gold belt?
Yeah. Why can't they bring back the old fucking winged belt, dude? The Eagles fucking
Yeah,
winged belt.
come on.
Like,
Bring that
they're
back,
like,
Vince.
it's all about
Bring
branding.
that back,
It's all
Vince.
about fucking
And
branding.
And we don't want the little circular one that you came up with during the Attitude Era. That was garbage.
They just want their douchebag fucking WWE logo to be
all
out
big and gaudy looking all over, and it's like,
Yeah.
that's awful.
there. Yeah.
Bring back the big gold belt and the winged eagle. Bring those back.
Bring them back, Vince. You fucking bitch.
So let's get back to Raw. even
He's
though
not
we
gonna bring it back
apparently
because I
not-
just called him bitch. I mean,
Apparently, because
So we saw Elias come out, ultimately to get interrupted by Alexa Bliss. Really enjoyed the interaction here.
and we thought that she was gonna be a face from him, but nope, she swerved him.
She swerved him, Cody. Columbus native.
And did he actually get to finish his promo this time, or his little gimmick or whatever the fuck?
Oh fuck! I think he's just filler. They're just like, hey, let's build the women's division around Elias segments. Okay, that's what we've seen that whole Trish Stratus Alexa Bliss match. We're gonna build that around a comedy angle, but
And also, if we can make men look stupid, that'd be great.
that'd be great.
Because The Simpsons and Married with Children and King of Queens and all the other sitcoms of the 90s and 2000s didn't do a good enough job of that. So can you please continue this, please?
Elias just gets interrupted, dude. Every
Yeah,
corner
he gets interrupted
turns,
like
man.
I'm interrupting you right now.
You wait your moments though. You pick good times, so you can't. Not
Yeah,
just
I
So-
guess the people in WWE don't really pick good times to
Yeah,
interrupt
right.
Elias.
Well, we saw some good interactions here. I mean, we saw ultimately, Ronda Rousey and Natalya roll out. Alexa Bliss defeated Natalya by submission. They're building up the rematch for Hell in a Cell of Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss, which hopefully should be a
something
fun
worthwhile.
encounter. Yeah, which I guess
And
next
hopefully
week.
she doesn't immediately drop it because she has not defended it yet on TV, as far as I know. Has she? I don't think
Yeah,
so.
Ronda Rousey, she hasn't had a match since the win, but I think at least on TV. And I think next week because Monday Night Football is coming back, so they're stacking up Monday Night Raw, and they announced that Ronda Rousey was going to be in action next week. She's in a tag match. Off the top of my head, I can't remember
Come on.
exactly who the fuck is involved, but I'm sure it's Natalya, Alicia Fox, someone else.
Alexa Bliss.
Probably
Shit
Alexa
we've seen
Bliss.
15 times before.
Yeah. So, okay, here's something pretty cool, man. We saw the B team versus Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, because Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre had basically asked to be in a match or be in this match or something for the tag titles, and they were told basically no unless something about
They took their spot
Revival.
on the Raw Tag Team Championship.
So they healed on the Revival before. I think they were doing like an interview backstage, and then they, Dolph and Drew beat the crap out of them, and so then they took their spot.
Solid fucking choice here. I mean, I'm really happy to see them fucking finally give like a shot of that HGH straight to the tag team title scene on Raw. Like I'm happy to see McIntyre and Ziggler win the titles.
Yeah.
Not saying Drew McIntyre is using HGH. I just I felt that reference was solid. It was worthy of a drop.
They're giving it some. They're giving a kick in the ass.
Yeah, right. So new tag team champions on Monday Night Raw. We ultimately also saw the Authors of Pain with, get this, Cody, they did it.
Rockstar
Spud, Drake Maverick coming out, which, looking at the picture right now, Drake, put one of your fucking awesome fancy suits back on. I don't ever want to see you in the AOP's ring entrance gear ever again. I don't need to see that.
I think it was great. I think it would be great to have him come out, heel promo all the time, just get under people's skin.
Yeah, no, I want to see him come out as the manager, but I don't want to see him wear that gear, dude.
I think it'd be great seeing him wear that gear.
Nah, dude, he looks like a douche, dude.
He is a douche, though. So
I love, Rockstar Spud was the shit, dude. I love Rockstar Spud.
Well, yeah, but if he's gonna be a heel manager, he needs to be a douche.
Yeah, but make him look fucking cool, dude. He doesn't need to look like a fucking.
But by the way, WWE proved yet again that I was right.
Yeah.
They need a manager. Thank you, WWE.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, you're getting those checks in the mail, dude.
Hold on. I need to take my bow.
There you go. So the Undertaker calls out Shawn Michaels.
God.
He calls Shawn Michaels a fucking coward. Okay?
Can I take a word from Mr. Nash here?
Yeah, go for it.
A phrase.
Okay.
This was the drizzling shits.
Oh man, in reference to his long-standing friend Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Here we are building up the once in a lifetime, end of a lifetime match. I don't know what they're calling this exactly.
I don't even know why they're bringing Shawn out. What are they doing? Are they building towards a feud or an angle with Undertaker after this?
Exactly.
Why?
Exactly. I mean, it kind of leaves it up. It's well, maybe I don't want to see the Triple H Undertaker match. Maybe I want to see the Shawn Michaels Undertaker match. I mean,
maybe I don't want to see either of these matches.
Yeah, I know. I know we talk about that shit every week.
We got a
don't want to see it
stacked roster.
Yeah.
We got a stacked roster. We do not need to bring out these old fogies who can barely move anymore. I'm sorry, Undertaker. I loved you in the 90s, but move.
I loved you in the 2000s. I loved you in the 2010s.
I even enjoyed the American Badass angle, but can we just move the hell on already? Please.
It's definitely going to be an interesting couple of months. I mean, I think if they pull the trigger, I mean, Shawn Michaels has, adamantly said time after time that he won't come back, but I mean, to come back against the Undertaker one more time, I don't know, man. I understand the reason. I know we come on here every single week and that's what we say, get it off our TV, but after that promo, I don't know, call me a fucking fish or something, but I caught on to that line and sinker, bro.
I did.
I enjoyed it to a point. Yeah. It was a solid promo.
Come on, I'd like to think that at least Shawn Michaels has grown a little bit since becoming a Christian, and that he actually is a man of his word, like he said on Monday.
Yeah. But I mean, if Undertaker gives his blessing, I mean, Ric Flair came out of fucking retirement.
But Ric Flair has 7 different alimony payments to make.
Shit. He's got a lot of bills, dude.
He does, so let's move on.
Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Ember Moon and Dana Brooke. Banks and Bayley defeat Moon and Dana.
But Dana Brooke could just walk up and down the aisle for all I care. She's hot. So, I really don't care what she does or doesn't do.
We saw the continued push of Kevin Owens as he and Bobby Lashley will be pairing up for a one-on-one feud apparently moving forward. We saw Kevin Owens after only 1 week of quitting Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, they could have milked that a little more, but of course they didn't do jack shit with it as usual. As usual.
I like to at least think that the modern day Maharaja is making the best of his new gimmick. in terms of being.
I think it's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good. Like I'm not.
It's
like,
doing
not
a lot
liking,
better than last year when he had the title for over 6 months or something.
I think he's got a solid spot, dude.
And he the fans just were like looking at my watch, playing on my phone.
Well, now it's like he's doing some comedy. He's gonna do something different, dude. Like it's fun.
It's actually, I don't know that it's actually getting over.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, but
it's at least not killing the crowd like it was last year. So
exactly. There you go. That's all you can ask for, Jinder.
It's a step up.
Step it up.
And I think if they continue this, that he might actually get somewhere with it. I think it's pretty fun.
So throughout the night,
hold on. Who are Kevin and Bobby Lashley facing off against at Hell in a Cell? I guess.
I don't think anything's been announced or anything.
I thought something got announced.
Not that I'm seeing on here. We can go to the official. We can run down the card here in a second.
For Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that after we talk about All In.
Yeah, it's right. Well, we'll cover Hell in a Cell, then we'll finish off on All In.
Okay.
So, yeah, we saw the main event, which this was kind of set up throughout the night. We saw Finn Balor trying to get another fucking match with Baron Corbin. But ultimately, Baron Corbin threw Finn Balor into a match with Braun Strowman.
Thank God.
Strowman defeated Balor. A solid 8 effort from the Bleacher Report. Ultimately, Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose, they marched to the ring. Basically, but then were assaulted and just decimated by the heel side of the Raw locker room. So
good.
We saw the big guys go out on top this week, man.
Well, good. I hope it continues because I'm not really digging the Shield. It's like, how many times can we have a Shield reunion to prop up Roman Reigns?
Bro, we're not even hitting year 2 yet. We're gonna be seeing this for a long time coming. Like Hulkamania ran for almost 40 fucking years, dude.
Are you trying to compare any of this to Hulkamania?
Kind of. In the sense of like WWE's
Moving
gonna
on.
milk it for all it's got. That's all I'm trying to say.
It doesn't have much, so I don't know what they're doing.
Moving on. All right, man. So we got Hell in a Cell. I'm pretty sure this is the next WWE special that will be airing on the WWE Network.
Question you: what is WWE going to do if they burn their bridges and not only do they not really get Roman over by himself by using the Shield, which is obviously what they're doing, but they also kind of diminish what Dean and Seth can do in terms of by themselves coming out and getting a pop or getting the burn it down thing going or whatever.
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it all comes down to what they perceive as a failure. I mean, they're still making money. I mean, they just signed a over $1 billion deal with Fox for the next 5 years of programming or whatever it is.
And what is that going to do with USA?
They have 2 separate deals. Raw's staying on USA and NBC, and then Fox has the rights to SmackDown. So, but I guess ultimately what I'm saying is they're making so much money that I don't think they give a fuck of what the fans like. It's like we keep saying, they just don't care, and they're just gonna keep pushing who they want to push, and they're gonna keep putting the product out because people are obviously still paying for it. And that's why we have to seek alternatives in terms of the fucking WWE, man. As to be a satisfied wrestling fan in 2018, it's very easy. You just gotta go look for it.
You just gotta take a flying leap and go for something.
Yeah, just throw it, dude. Just start watching shows, man.
Hope it's worth your while, and if it isn't, give it a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And go, this ain't working, or it's not entertaining me, or whatever, and then go for something else.
I don't know, dude. I'm a huge fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling, dude.
But do you
Ring of
think
Honor. I'm starting to watch Ring of Honor every week that I'm aware of. I'm home Saturday night at 11:30. I'll watch Ring of Honor, dude. So straight up.
Did they bring that back at 11? Because
it's on at 11. It's on KIMA at 11:30.
Nice.
It's on after the news.
Nice.
So yeah.
But I guess I have a follow-up question, which I wasn't going to ask. But if one of them does better than the other one for ratings in terms of amount of people watching and how many people go, this was a good show, this was a bad show, this was an okay show, and so on, do you think the networks, which I really do not want them bringing in the network angle, but do you think the networks might go, say Fox is killing it with SmackDown, and USA is going, okay, Raw, you need to do something. Like, this 3-hour thing isn't working. Your angles aren't working. We need to do something. Do you think that might play into it at some point with the networks kind of pushing them in a different area? Or
I don't. Yeah, no, I think I know what you mean. I don't. You know, and I think WWE has been putting out solid, like, you know, the same numbers for quite a while. I mean, if they saw a dramatic drop of, like, if, like, they just had some sort of backlash where, like, you know, half their viewership is gone within, like, a year or two span or something. Like, if it's like WCW type shit, I mean, then yeah, I could see, like, them getting concerned and shit. But I mean, they're making so much money.
The network might come into play in terms of giving them the shove or push. And
well, yeah, Fox can cancel WWE at any point. I mean, you know, but I
think that SmackDown's doing better than Raw is in terms of the product that they're putting out. The
quality of the product, yeah. So, I think that fucking brand division is going to be over once they go to Fox, dude, next year, like next October or whatever. Like, they're gone, dude. Like, that brand split's done, dude. Because they're going to want to have the Brock Lesnar. Because, like, Fox is paying them how much money? Ronda Rousey's not even on fucking SmackDown. Like, they're gonna fucking be rolling with, like, the whole, like...
That's gonna suck, though, because it's like being in top of a building, top of a skyscraper or whatever building.
Yeah.
And bombing a lower floor that's going to end up taking out the entire building just because you don't like that one floor.
Well, it's just, like, the amount of wrestlers, dude, on the fucking roster. It's a bloated fucking roster, dude. It's just
Which is why you need the brand split.
Which it's not healthy for WWE to be going out there and signing, like, every single fucking top indie guy, man. Like, you know,
well, they think they're going to crush the indies, but, like, the indies are going to keep finding guys.
Indies flourishing like motherfuckers, dude. Like the Bucks and fucking getting into All In here in a moment.
Which I'm not a fan of the Bucks or Kenny Omega, really.
Oh, I fucking love Kenny
so
Omega.
On and so
Kenny
forth,
Omega is the modern day fucking king of pro wrestling, man. That guy is
there's
money.
Room for different flavors than just vanilla wrestling.
Yeah,
which is what WWE.
That's the great thing about wrestling, dude. Is, like, you know, there's supposed to be something for everybody.
And I think with the almost quasi second territory type thing that we're having now with the indies getting bigger through the internet and so forth, I think eventually one of them is going to challenge Vince.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, man. But going back to Hell in a Cell, we have 7 matches announced.
So far.
Which it's a 4-hour pay-per-view. Like, I'm not too sure exactly how long this one's supposed to be.
Because normally they have like 12 matches and they already have most of them announced. And
we'll go ahead and run through these quick style. We got Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella versus The Miz and Maurice. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. The New Day, Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods versus to be determined participant, as we have an active number 1 contender tournament going on. We have Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in a Hell in a Cell match for the Universal Championship. Ronda Rousey versus Alexa Bliss for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton in a Hell in a Cell match. And Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch for a singles match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. So 7 matches all in all. The card's fleshing out. I mean, I think the Roman Reigns Braun Strowman match, just based on the previous matches that they've had, I think it's going to be a good affair. And we've never seen him in a Hell in a Cell encounter, so it's a fresh match. It's not Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman for the millionth fucking time.
But leading up to it, we haven't really seen much physicality between.
We saw what happened on fucking.
Like, we haven't seen him pushing Roman off of one of the loading docks.
Yeah, but this is a bit of a different story, though. I mean, now he's aligned with Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, so it is a bit of a different story compared to what has been presented in the past with the history of Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns. But
so you'd expect even more physicality between them, but they throw in.
They're holding it off for Hell in a Cell, man.
Where there's not supposed to be any interference.
Any interference, right? So, and then I'm also looking forward to Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton. So I'm looking forward to both the Hell in a Cell matches. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. New Day should have a good match.
I'm hoping that it's not the bar again.
I hope it's not the bar. I hope it's Carl Anderson and freaking Luke Gallows, man. I want the club to win, dude.
Because those are the 2 guys that are the 2 tag teams that are facing off to determine.
That's right. And moving on, and speaking of Bullet Club, we will transition appropriately over to All In, which will be the final thing we will speak of this good evening.
Let's talk about who, because again, we're continuing this compliment sandwich here.
Yeah, we got to end it on a good note, bro.
Yep.
So because like I was saying there,
which I'm actually quite interested in. At least half of the card at Hell in a Cell.
Oh yeah, final, yeah, dude. It's fleshing out nice.
I'm not. Like, where are the other 3 to 5 matches? Like,
well, we're already at 7, so I mean, we'll see. Like you said, Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley. I mean, that's probably going to get announced for the pre-show. I don't know, maybe a tag team championship match, Ziggler and McIntyre versus the B team and Revival in a triple threat. Like, I mean, those could get added on maybe. That was just off the top of my head, I don't know what else they're gonna.
Are they just gonna have a 3-hour pay-per-view and then save some matches?
I hope it's 3 fucking hours.
And then save some for the Super Show. Or?
I don't fucking know. We'll get to the Super Show next week, dude. We'll get there next week. But yeah, let's go ahead and end this shit, dude. Fucking, we saw on the pre-show SoCal Uncensored, which is Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. Which I said last week, dude. I'm a big fan.
I've heard Kazarian from somewhere.
I'm in TNA. He was in TNA. He was in that stable with fucking AJ Styles, that Fortune stable.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. They defeated the Briscoe brothers in a tag team match, 12 minutes 33 seconds. As I predicted last week on the Totally Unnecessary Wrestling podcast right here, Flip Gordon won the 19-man over the budget battle royal to determine the number 1 contender for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Is that the one that they didn't want there or whatever? Is that one that you're talking about?
Well, it was the one where like he was the Mexican luchador was like, "Hey, I have a nephew that wants to be in the match." Yeah. So that's how they did it. Fairly predictable, but very satisfying at the same time because they built the storyline.
Predictable as long as it's satisfying.
It's satisfying. It's very because the story. If you go back to the Being the Elite, web series on YouTube, that they did a fucking great build of Flip Gordon saying, "No, you're not on," and then he eventually gets on the pay-per-view. So you know what, Flip Gordon's all in. He was set to challenge for the
which I'm sure everyone and their
Ring of Honor
blind
Championship.
grandmother could have saw coming, but I mean, it was still something, that made it more satisfying once he did get on the card and everything.
Exactly. So in an unadvertised match, we saw Matt Cross defeat Maxwell Jacob Friedman in a singles match, which I'm not too sure if you're aware of Matt Cross and or Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Matt Cross is son of Havoc on Lucha Underground, so he plays a masked character on Lucha Underground. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I met M-Dog fucking up in Seattle at the Defy, one of the Defy shows here in the last.
The recent
well,
one?
not the most recent show I went to. I met Brody King at that one. I met Brody King at the other one too, but
and they didn't charge you.
Yeah, well, we got in early for the VIP shit because fucking Eric is in a wheelchair.
Well, bring him along next
time.
time.
That's what I told Eric. I was like, you're going to come with me to every one of these shows, bro.
You get in early, you get cool spots, you get all this
no shit,
VIP
dude.
shit for free.
Of course, dude. Hell yeah. So anyway, Matt Cross, dude, fucking badass wrestler. This was an okay match. We saw Matt Cross defeat Maxwell Jacob Friedman, which Maxwell Jacob Friedman, he's kind of a newer guy on the independent scene. He's wrestling primarily for Major League Wrestling currently. Solid up-and-comer, dude. So... He went. Matt Cross defeats him in 9 minutes and 23 seconds.
And by the way, real quick, I saw that all over Twitter.
So yeah, dude, it was
trending.
It was trending everywhere.
Matches were trending. Everyone was talking.
This is being heralded as like the biggest independent success in independent wrestling history, obviously.
Yep.
So
at least recent history, at the very least. But
we saw Christopher Daniels, also a member of freaking SoCal Uncensored. Yeah, he defeated Stephen Amell in a very fun match. I thought, dude. I thought it was a very, very well-paced match. I mean, I've heard it being compared to like a Shane McMahon match. That's what it was. But solid effort from both of them.
I wonder if that's kind of what they modeled it after.
It's possible, but Christopher Daniels is a fucking genius in pro wrestling, dude.
But did Stephen Amell look good in the ring?
Yeah,
it looked like he knew
he flowed. He moved well, dude. It was good, dude. It was a solid effort.
Some Jay Leno type stuff.
He didn't embarrass himself. I'll put it that way. Okay,
nice,
he did a good job. In what is actually being heralded as actually one of the better matches of the evening, we saw Tessa Blanchard defeat Chelsea Green and Madison Rayne and Britt Baker in a 4-corner survival match. Obviously, Tessa Blanchard, the daughter of Tully Blanchard, which ultimately her stepfather is Magnum TA. Her stepfather's Magnum TA, which both of them accompanied Tessa out for the event, at least to walk out, initially. So it was, dude, like, cool fucking moment, dude. Very cool moment.
I don't know who it was, but the only spot I saw, they made a gif of it, but the only spot I saw that kind of made my cornet spider senses tingle.
Okay.
In terms of like, that was
your corny senses. Yeah, corny senses. That's
the only thing that kind of made those kind of like, was this one spot where this guy's thrown to the rope. He puts his arms around the rope and he stops himself from going, and the other guy kind of does. No one can see this because we don't do video.
Right.
But he kind of like kneels down, puts his arm in the air or something to that effect, and I'm like, that is way too planned and worked.
Yeah, I mean it's gymnastics, bro.
They had some of those spots from what I understand.
Still fun to watch,
that
though.
some
I love
fans
those
kind of are
matches.
into, and other fans, like the more old school types, are kind of like,
Yeah. Well, speaking of old school matches, dude, we saw Cody defeat Nick Aldis to claim the NW World Heavyweight Championship in what is being billed as like the moment of the night, dude. Was
nice.
Cody? He was accompanied by his wife Brandy Rhodes, Diamond Dallas Page,
and she's super hot. Come on,
hell yeah, Diamond Dallas Page. Which, dude, shout out to Diamond Dallas Page for being on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah,
dude, fucking repping DDP yoga, dude, like on fucking Joe Rogan. Man. That's fucking bad. That's big shit, dude. That's fucking major.
This ain't your mama's yoga.
Also with Glacier and Tommy Dreamer.
Glacier?
Glacier accompanied fucking
Glacier,
Cody.
like
Glacier, like WCW fucking
when they were
Glacier.
trying to do that whole Mortal Kombat thing with
Glacier.
Canyon, I believe. What was his?
Mordecai? It was a Mortis?
Mortis, yeah.
I think it was Mortis. But yeah, we saw Nick Aldis come out with Jeff Jarrett, Samuel Shaw, Sean Devari, and Tim Storm. Dude,
it was a star-studded affair.
It was a star-studded affair, dude, which ultimately Cody wins, becomes the first ever second-generation NW heavyweight champion.
Didn't I predict that was kind of the way they were going to go? Because, that's a big thing. Like, that's a big...
Yeah. It was a good match. But moving on, we saw the Hangman Page defeat Joey Janela in a Chicago street fight, which, dude, like, everybody's hailing as like such a great match to follow that, such a an intense emotional moment with Cody winning the NWA championship to go straight into a Chicago street fight, dude.
Yeah.
It was pointed out that's actually what followed the Bret Hart Stone Cold Steve Austin match at WrestleMania 13 in Chicago. Was the Road Warrior Ahmed Johnson Nation of Domination street fight.
That was both.
that was pointed out earlier this week.
That was both a hot mess of a match and just a beautiful.
I loved it. I love the Road Warriors, bro.
Insane.
I loved it. I was a fan of Ahmed Johnson too back then, so I was like, I wasn't
a fan of Ahmed Johnson.
I loved him in '96, dude. I loved him in '96
because I thought he was terrible in the ring. But I mean, just like.
Well, it's like you said, Ultimate Warrior was terrible in the ring too, man, but he's remembered fondly. We can remember Ahmed Johnson in a fine manner. At least at the end of 95, 96. That's when he had his run. 97.
After that, it was kind of...
After this...
But, I mean, that was a hot mess of a match, and it was also just like a beautiful just train wreck.
So, ultimately, we saw Hangman Page defeat... Joey Janela, but we also, as I was kind of explaining last week with the Joey Ryan murder, cowboy boot fucking storyline or whatever, we saw what's being hailed as the resurrection of Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan returns.
If I could,
with a bunch of
if I could press a button to
delete this
to sample a toilet flushing right now, I would.
Well, you need to look up the spot, dude, because Joey Janela was accompanied by a bunch of, you know how Undertaker has his druids and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, Joey Ryan was accompanied by a bunch of guys in a bunch of dick costumes, basically. And they went out. Joey Ryan ultimately gets the upper hand on Hangman Page. And you know how they used to, take away.
Rant coming on.
Yeah, Hangman Page gets taken to the back by the men's in the dick costumes.
So I don't know.
Okay, all right, we'll get through it, man. But yeah, that happened. So we also
I was originally planning a rant for the 19th Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor match and in the general idea of getting tired of having 15 matches before a pay-per-view match in a feud. But I think I'll just allow my blood pressure to simmer.
Yeah, we'll simmer it down this week.
We'll move on.
We're over an hour at this point, so
let's finish off.
All right, Jay Lethal was accompanied to the ring by Lanny Poffo, which of course is the Macho Man's brother, because Jay Lethal came out as Macho Man.
He was the priest or the preacher or whatever on TNA, right? Is that the right guy?
No, that was the Pope. That was the Pope. Yeah, that was the dude that. Else? Yeah, it's somebody else. Jay Lethal was Machismo.
Oh,
Machismo.
Okay.
So he came out as Black Machismo, accompanied by Lanny Poffo. It was a singles match for the Ring of Honor World Championship. He ultimately defeats Flip Gordon, who had Brandy Rhodes accompanying him to the ring. Pretty fun spot when we saw Jay Lethal pick up Brandy Rhodes by the shoulder like she was Elizabeth. So they did that, just the whole Macho Man gimmick. It's fun. I mean, ultimately, it's a World Championship match. It shouldn't necessarily be treated as a comedy match, but it was still a fun encounter to see the match.
They still did they take it seriously enough, but still had some fun with it?
I think so. I'd like to think so. And definitely what a lot of people may have said could have been match of the night, encounter of the night. We saw Kenny Omega defeat Penta El Zero in a singles match in 17 minutes and 47 seconds, but being the surprise factor, which this is kind of crazy because, we saw Chris Jericho surprise attack Kenny Omega hitting the code breaker.
You showed me the makeup.
Yeah, he had the new shirt that's being sold at Hot Topic apparently. But yeah, Chris Jericho competing for a rival federation, rival company. I mean, it's not really a company. So I mean, I know
does he have a contract or does he just get paid like Rick Rude did in the late 90s?
He's on a paid per appearance deal, I would suppose, or short-term contracts. He's not contracted with WWE right now. He has
been another.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's got a deal with New Japan right now. But so nonetheless, Jericho shows up, immediately takes off to fucking Kansas or whatever, and plays the show with Fozzy, dude. Fucking Chris Jericho in 2018. Give that man,
give him some props.
Give that man some money, more money, man, because that guy is one of the hardest working fucking guys in the professional wrestling business.
Back in the 2000s, the double aughts, as some people call them.
Double aughts.
The double aughts.
Yeah.
He was great at he was great at doing the old school heel thing, but in a modern way.
Right.
And getting tons of heel. Remember that one time when he was leaving somewhere in his car? And he gets pulled out of his car, and some woman's trying to attack him or something. There's a bunch of people there, and he just punches the shit out of her.
That was in Vancouver, dude. That was in Vancouver.
Then he gets in the car and he slams the door and he goes off.
Well, it's because the security guards weren't doing their fucking job that day, dude.
Either way, that was some great old school.
It's Chris Jericho, bro.
Some great old school heel stuff.
That was 2008 Chris Jericho.
Yep.
So yeah, dude, and then in a fun. Fucking great match. We saw Okada defeat Marty Scurll, which was the heavyweight versus the junior heavyweight.
Is it the one that I thought was the name sounded like Squirrel or whatever?
Yeah. So this match went 26 minutes and 5 seconds, which ultimately, apparently, the word is that this match went way over its allotted time, and that they had to rush the main event, which was the Golden Elite, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson and Kota Ibushi versus Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix, and Bandito. So that match got quite.
Wait.
Yeah.
A tag match was
the main event.
A 6-man tag match.
Well, it's just a one-off show, dude. So, I mean, it's just the go-home. Rey Mysterio.
This ain't going to be a one-off show. Come on. They're going to do this yearly.
Yeah.
It was so popular. But they're doing this yearly, and this is going to be their almost WrestleMania, which is how they were treating it seems, with all the special guests
and all that stuff.
The star-studded people that showed up and everything.
It was definitely a WrestleMania, esque fucking, celebration for sure.
Early WrestleMania.
Yeah. But but that's what ended up happening. But yeah, that was the main event, was the Golden Elite, and they defeated Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix and Bandito. And then afterwards, so apparently they finished the pay-per-view with minutes, if not seconds, to spare. Dude, wonderful success.
Why can't they just gone over?
Because I think you're only allotted a certain amount of time in terms of the amount that you're paying for whatever the time to broadcast that on. So I mean, it's like a hard shut off. I mean, they just
with the pay-per-view people.
The pay-per-view company, yeah.
Well, I wonder why that match went over so
because there was no communication. They had to send a second referee out to be like, "Hey, let's go, let's wrap this shit up," just like we're gonna do on this show. Giving
We
you the
always
go
go
home
over,
sign.
so who gives a shit? No one's cutting us off.
No one's cutting us off the network, brother.
Yeah, brother.
All right, man. Cody James, we will be back next week, man. We got Hell in the Cell coming up, man. We got shit to cover, man. We got shit to cover.
Your summation in terms of what you're looking for, or how excited you are, I guess is what I'm trying to say about. About Hell in a Cell and about the Super Show, which we haven't really touched yet.
When I see these types of events coming up, I'm like, damn, that's a lot of work for us, dude. That means we're gonna have to sit down and watch this shit, and then we're gonna have to record hours upon hours of audio greatness. In regards to these, so call me crazy, but I'm looking forward to all of it, dude. Keep it coming, WWE. Let's keep doing this podcast till 2020, motherfuckers.
Maybe we should do like a live, so to speak, recording of the Super Showdown or whatever.
We'll figure it out, dude. We're gonna figure this one out.
Because normally we'll do like an hour or 30 minutes or whatever.
I don't think people want to listen to us live. Like, they're gonna be like, that's gonna be a 4-hour pay-per-view. You're gonna release a 4-hour episode.
Well, you can cut it together.
That's more fucking work for me, motherfucker.
Well, leave your laptop with me, then I'll work on it.
Shit, motherfucker. All right, man. I'm Kevin Porter.
Anyways,
Cody James.
We're cutting this off.
Yep.
I'm Cody James. It's Kevin Porter. Thanks for sitting with us yet again, and we'll see you next week.
We will see you next time.